for Russia to hold on. And we're seeing now, I would expect to see some countermeasures put in place by Russia. We haven't really seen that quite yet. And the strikes, the deep strikes are taking a toll. We should look at this very similar to when HIMARS, or really HIMARS, rolled out on the battlefield early in the war. Russia knew that was coming. They did not adapt, and they suffered some pretty significant losses over the course of probably 3 to 5 months, where there were near daily high-value targets getting hit by Ukrainian forces. Russia adapted. They found out ways to shoot down, new ways to shoot down the HIMARS. They moved a lot of their locations outside of HIMARS range, which was more doable then than it is now. Further, from Luhansk People's Republic, are losing more than 100 vehicles per week. By the autumn, this will lead to a total paralysis of all logistics from the Kharkiv region all the way down to Crimea, which is to make the continuation of military operations completely impossible. There is no countermeasures for this. Again, I think he and Rybar are a bit overly pessimistic, a bit kind of on the extreme end of the doomer scale right now. There are a lot of countermeasures available to stopping drones, from nets to mobile counter drone teams to additional electronic warfare jammers to all sorts of things could be done. It's a matter of, does Russia have the ability to surge those into some of these areas and defend the entirety of the occupied territories of southern Ukraine? To that end, probably not. But as we sit here today, we still really haven't seen any sort of response from Russia trying to mitigate the effects of these drones. The one that I heard the other day was try driving not at night and keeping the music to a minimum so you can hear the drones as they approach. That's probably not ideal. I mean, best case, the driver's getting out of there and the vehicle's still going up in flames. So anyways, this middle strike is a major issue for Russia. Every single day, we're seeing more and more Russian analysts, pro-Russian accounts, get frustrated with what they're seeing and the direction this is going. So this is going to be a big one to keep an eye on in 2026. Now, quick update. So we're well on our way, moving along on this one pretty fast because you all are incredible. Again, unmanned ground vehicles through Ukraine aid operations to a number of Ukrainian units fighting at the front. For those interested and able, that link will be in the description below. But that's all we got for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.
Russian forces launch a massive armored assault against a fortified Ukrainian position near the strategically important sector of Toretsk. The declassified battle happened in 2025, and we'll see the fight quickly escalates from a normal assault as Ukraine rushes in reinforcements to try to stop a breakthrough. Russian forces open the attack with small formations of infantry riding in Chinese-made motorcycles and all-terrain vehicles. Thermal image surveillance footage finds and fixes the 5 targets. Ukrainian mines blow the unarmored transports into pieces. FPV attack drones then finish off the remaining soldiers, but this is just the beginning. The reason these cheap assets are committed first in the attack is to probe the Ukrainian defense. It's recon by fire. Next, a 4-wheeled ATV tries to survive running the gauntlet, but it takes a nosedive and gets stuck in a ditch at the worst possible location. The pursuing Ukrainian bomber drone starts dropping explosives directly on them. The first one knocks out the engine. The second one wounds soldiers on the right side. The effects on target are devastating. The third bomb is a direct hit. The fourth bomb is another direct hit. The squad of 6 Russian infantry try to escape, but without their transport, only 2 of them manage to outrun the shrapnel from multiple bomb runs. These survivors then attempt to find cover and concealment nearby. They try to infiltrate through any defensive cracks. Being an infantryman assigned to unprotected vehicles on this mission must feel like a death sentence, and often soldiers are assigned to these missions as punishment. These initial probing attacks provide valuable battlefield intelligence though for Russian commanders. They now know which directions are less protected. Now the escalation begins as the second wave of the assault kicks off, this time with heavily armored Russian vehicles. But before we get into that, a lot of people don't know I've already created over 30 exclusive combat footage analysis videos on Pepperbox that I create weekly and you can only find there. For some of the episodes, I also bring on guests to get their insights into warfare, like former Navy SEAL Jocko Willink, Eli Doubletap, HLC, Fat Electrician, Justin Taylor, and more. I'm proud of the combat footage that we put out there on Pepperbox because I think preserving the history of warfare is important. It's an educational learning tool for what our future warfighters and leaders may face, and it's a reminder why avoiding war is so important, because on Pepperbox I'm able to show the fully uncensored cost of war. And if you use my link in the description of the video or the pinned comment below, you get a 14-day free trial, and it's just $7.99 a month after that. So it's risk-free, and you can watch all 30+ exclusive episodes, and then if you don't like it, you can cancel it. But I think you're going to want to stick around, because Pepperbox is available on all major platforms: Smart TV, Roku, Xbox, and more. Use my link to get access to ad-free versions of my regular episodes and weekly exclusives from me and your other favorite creators. The escalation starts using the intelligence gained from the probing attacks. The Russian side sends in a wave of higher value mechanized troops in BTR transports. They pass by the husks of burnt out armored vehicles that were destroyed in the past. Each one that they pass by marks the cost of their advance. These vehicles actually have some armor on them, which shows the Russian commanders are escalating the assault and sending in heavier, more expensive resources along this route. Russian high command believes that they found a weak spot in Ukraine's defense and are about to commit a massive force to try to exploit it. The BTR offers the Russian troops inside the hull a better chance of getting to the fight compared to the motorbikes and ATVs we saw earlier. The rear vehicle takes a hit from an FPV drone. They're now within 10 kilometers of the Ukrainian drone operators. The vehicle shrugs off the blow and keeps advancing. A second FPV drone hits the lead vehicle on its top right where the armor is weaker. This hit causes a detonation on the roof. It's likely that this hit was where they stored their ammunition, because a fire starts to rage and break out. The lead vehicle is now sputtering to a stop. We see that 4 of the Russian infantry in the back are able to bail out the doors and continue the attack on foot. From the Russian commander's perspective, that means the vehicle did its job and protected the troops, at least this far. It's a cold and brutal calculation, but the commanders on the Russian side judge that sending vehicles and crew on a one-way trip is worth it if it gets the assault team onto the objective. The 2 Russian vehicles now split up across from each other and try to split the attention of the Ukrainian drone operators. One veers off the road and attempts to assault through the open field. The other vehicle is deadlined and unable to advance further. An artillery strike barely misses them. Then a munition slams into the left side and actually exits straight out the right side of the vehicle. The projectile ignites the BTR's fuel tank in the process. The shaped charge carried by an FPV drone could do that, but as we'll see in a moment, there's a Ukrainian apex predator lurking on this battlefield, and that might be what punched the hole. One of the BTRs made it to a small part of the village. We can see how almost all of the houses have been flattened by fighting already. An FPV drone hits the BTR